Why, hello there. If you are wondering what my friend over here, why this fish has resulted in his untimely death, it is a replica of the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010, and you will soon find out more about this issue. So we've decided to interview a few of our classmates to see what they knew on the issue. Okay, Jenica Patel, what do you know about the BP oil spill of 2010?
I heard it was a really bad oil spill.
So I'm pretty sure there was a ship with a lot of oil in it, and it hit like an iceberg, and the oil got everywhere and killed a bunch of birds.
Well, there was a BP oil spill that deeply impacted the ecological systems in the ocean because the oil harmed many fish.
On April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig, leased by the oil company BP, exploded and killed 11 people while also setting off the largest marine oil spill in the world's history. Over 200 million gallons of oil spewed out of the Macondo well over 86 days, spreading over 5,000 square miles, about the size of Connecticut. What happened was a bubble of methane gas escaped from the well, causing an explosion and fire. The explosion resulted in damage to the oil well, and the oil and gases began leaking from the well and into the ocean. As wind, waves, and currents spread the oil across the ocean's surface, coral reefs and animals got covered in a slick layer of oil. The direct impact of the oil spill resulted in a tremendous death toll, covering animals in oil and destroying food sources for many. The spill resulted in the death of 6,104 birds, 609 sea turtles, and 100 mammals. However, the most tragic loss of all were the coral reefs that were located 7 miles southwest of the well. Corals began exuding mucus, which is a stress reaction to help clear its surface of something that's irritating it. They were covered in slime. Coral reefs are an essential part to the ecosystem for many marine animals. Deep water corals provide habitat and reproductive grounds for numerous species of fish, shrimp, and crabs. The coral and other plants such as anemones provided protection and shelter for smaller fish and a food source for larger fish such as lobsters and conch. Coral reef systems are important for many reasons. They remove and recycle carbon dioxide from the air and protect the land from harsh weather by absorbing the impact of strong waves and storms.
Scientists warn that the gravest threat, including possible ecosystem collapse, is posed by the poisoning of organisms at the base of the food chain. These organisms, primarily grasses and algae, form the basis for one of the most biologically rich areas in the country. Thousands of species inhabit the coral reefs, and all of these creatures somewhere down the line depend on primary producers to convert energy from sunlight into food, and without them they cannot survive. As of now, the protective mechanisms in mammals are poorly understood. The bioavailability of oil increases after dispersal, which can directly expose organisms to increased levels of hydrocarbons and allow the hydrocarbon dispersant compound to enter the food chain. However, now there are no traces of excess hydrocarbons left in the food chain, and therefore seafood from the Gulf of Mexico is safe to consume. By October, 86% of the coral colonies in the area were damaged. Of this 86%, 46% had damage to more than half of the colony, and 23% had more than 90% of damage. Soon, the corals that were heavily impacted were not recovering, with total death in some parts. Good news is, the reefs which were not heavily impacted, despite being covered in slime, appear to be recovering. As a result of the oil spill, new laws and regulations have been passed in hopes of preventing a future disaster. For one, Louisiana adopted a bill which requests the state and federal governments to urge a community effort to clean up the oil spill. Other states have also passed bills which work to help contain the oil spill. Bans have also been passed by many states which either halted, inhibited, or completely banned offshore drilling in state waters. However, drilling is still permitted as long as it demonstrates economic viability and the party remains liable for an oil spill. Overall, safety regulation for oil rigs themselves have also increased greatly, with nearly double the number of inspectors as well as stricter safety rules. BP has since pleaded guilty and paid $18.7 billion in fines, making this one of the largest corporate settlements in U.S. history. While they still continue to drill for resources, since oil is still an essential part of American lives, new regulations will prevent any future occurrences of a tragedy.
The full price that BP will pay for the oil spill that resulted in the deaths of millions will be based on the full cost of restoring the environment back to health. Today, the Gulf is recovering better than ever expected. However, the full cost of the deep sea ecosystem will not manifest for many years. So, for the time being, individuals can help by donating to a wildlife or environmental organization to support clean oceans and protect wildlife. Scientists will continue to study the effects of the oil spill and develop technologies to improve upon the cleaning methods and response for any future spills. While it may be unreasonable to ask oil companies to stop drilling for resources in the ocean, we can start moving towards a more environmental friendly energy so that we can make strides to decrease our reliance on deep sea oil wells. For now, we can focus on protecting the environment in our own backyard, Lake Massapog.